So, we got balance changes. Let's talk about how that impacted the game. Here is my top 10 heroes. Alakir, top 10. I value Alakir as a slightly better Lich King. He's basically just better early game, better mid game, sometimes better late game, but yes, I understand Lich King can hero power Goldrin in the Beast comp and he can hero power the Bomb or Spawn, but I just think Alakir is more consistent. Alakir gives you possibility of playing whatever you want and just solidifies your board presence. Whatever you play, Alakir is going to make it even better. It's only bad if you want to play Divine Shields and if you want to open on a Divine Shield, because you kind of lose the Divine Shield if you put a Divine Shield first. You kind of want a minion that doesn't have Divine Shield, like, I don't know, Poisonous or just a powerful Elemental or a Cleave to be position 1. Anyways, Alakir is, in my opinion, a strictly better Lich King. I would have Lich King on 11. He's not that bad. He's better than Yogg and better than Kyotos, but he's not quite on the power level of Alakir. Next, Omu. On 9, because Omu was best in the previous metagame, since he was the best at using a triple into discovering a 5-drop faster than everybody else in the lobby. Right now, he's not even able to discover a game-winning 5-drop. The best he can do is Nomi or Bran, and Bran kind of requires support so that you don't take too much damage. While I still think it's a big advantage to be able to power level, and he's the best at leveraging triples, leveraging triples is less important in this metagame than just raw stats. And I think Omu is not the best at naturally playing stats. His hero power only lets him get a little bit ahead and a little bit of tempo, but that's about it. Still a very good hero. Reno. Reno is the king because you can decide what you do. You can go for a game-winning win condition such as Bran, Lightfang now, Kalecgos, or you can just play safe and hero power a Juggler, hero power a Wrathweaver, hero power a Rover, hero power, I don't know, Savannah Highmanes, Needs. If you're doing badly, you just hero power for tempo to try to not die. If you're doing well, you can hero power one of the win conditions and try to win the lobby. He's very versatile and that's why I have him in position 8. Janice is the best at tripling, since if you're offered Murlocs or Beasts, you can use the token generator to easily triple. I played quite a bit of Janice in this metagame, and I admit I have a lot of bad games with her, and all the bad games are games where I went a little bit too greedy on discoveries. I wanted too much from the token generator. So depending on how the game goes, in my opinion, you should either go for straight up double 5 if you have like a fantastic game where you can sustain keeping one token in your hand and you have the token generator really early, or most of the time, go for one free or one 4-drop and that's it. Just move on afterwards and try to get some buffs and cycle the buffs. We are playing a sort of Menagerie meta, so being able to recycle the Menagerie Jug or just any thing you play with Bran, like, I don't know, Town Buff or Argus, whatever, is very good in this current metagame. So Janice has to be one of the best heroes in the game if Menagerie is good. Next up on my list is Elise, which was already one of my favorite heroes. She was my favorite pocket pick. I absolutely liked playing Elise when nobody else did. So now that it's 2 gold for the map, she's definitely one of my top picks. I think you want to follow a slightly aggressive curve, and she just does what Omu does, but better, because she can level up and instantly take a minion. You want to play a couple of turns safe, and then you just level into level while switching your worst minion for like one of the higher tavern tiers. You need to know when to stop with Elise. Don't go too greedy. I would go to like tavern 4, stay a bit, 5, and then chill before I go to 6. I wouldn't just jump from the taverns immediately. And you always want to look for a strategy that wins you the game. You don't want just picking random minions of different tribes, unless you're, of course, going to finish it with Bran or Lightfang into a Menagerie build. Next up, we have Rafam, which, as usual, I just think he's consistent. He's good at getting triples, he's good at getting power. If you know what we're doing with Rafam, I don't think he's an under top 5 hero or under top 10 hero ever. So Rafam is just always going to be there at the top as long as the hero power is going to function the way it's going to function. Not much to say. He's the same since the beginning. Mayev, also really good. The queen of triples. not the most powerful tempo-wise, but you always just under-level a little bit with mayev and go for triples. In the previous metagame, the way you had to play mayev was a little bit on the risky side of things. You couldn't really under-level, so you had to like normally level, which is over-leveling on mayev, and then go for triples. And if you fail on the triple, or if you fail on getting a triple, you would like take too much damage and die. I don't know if that can happen now, and the games are also a little longer. So I really like the mayev dynamic of like just going for a board and triples, kind of like similar to rafam playstyle. I have milhouse on position 3, simply because I just like him so much when elementals and dragons are available. Without elementals and dragons, I still think he's top 5, but I would probably, for example, pick mayev over him if I don't have both elementals and dragons available with Mr. House. I think he's just powerful because there are so many minions, specifically with elementals being guided to the game, that offer you just shenanigans. Elemental is really good. Refreshing guy is really good. And then elementals that summon elementals, elementals that generate elementals, elementals that buff other elementals. You just have so many synergies. It's so likely to hit one of the synergies early game, and then go to Tavern 3 or Tavern 4, get stronger, go to 5, and then you can go crazy. Also, if you catch Nomi or Kalegos, you can just put the game in the bag. And now, the unexpected from the worst heroes in the game. First of all, position 2, I have Galakrond. If I would tell you this like 2 weeks ago, you'd be like, what the hell? So the only thing that they changed to Galakrond hero power is make it free, and you cannot freeze anymore. But what that allows you to do is, turn 1, you just buy the most powerful minion you're offered, stats-wise, like 2-3 or 2-4. Even if you go for the token generator, do not buy the token generator. Then you hero power freeze. Next time, level up, freeze. And hero power, obviously. And then, if you have a token in the tavern, you buy it now on 5 gold, sell the token, buy the other minion, keep hero powering and freezing, and on 6 gold, you're gonna get offered the 5 drop, okay? If the 5 drop is Bran, Nomi, Lightfang, Mama Bear, Nat Pagel, or something that fits amazingly with your board, buy it. If not, do it again next turn and go for a 6-star. If the 6-star is bad, you have to freeze it again and then hero power it again next turn. But ideally, you take a 5 or a 6, and then you play sort of normally while leveling quite aggressively. Once you get to Tavern 4, I would try to end my turn by hero powering a 4 into a 5, freeze, start my next turn hero powering the 5 into a 6, buy the 6, play like one more turn normally, go to 5, and then hero power 5s into 6s and mostly just stay on 5. You don't even need to go to 6. I mean, you can go to 6 if it's super cheap, if you need exactly like a couple of minions and you don't want to just hero power every single turn. But basically, Galakrond gets minions from ahead of the curve quite often into your control, and that just offers you a lot of advantages. And you can have some crazy games with like turn 3 or 4 getting a Nomi and then getting a Gascoiler or something like that. I don't know. You can do like so many things with Galakrond. And now, the best hero in the game, not the best hero in the game that we ever had. It's weaker than Eudora, weaker than Ragnarok at his peak, weaker than Hooktask. One of the most balanced best heroes in the game that we ever had. Still a little bit unfair. WagToggle. So the way they buffed WagToggle, it's a mix between Tyrion and Deathwing. And what I mean with that is, you want to play the Tyrion Rafam aggro curve, buy minion on 1, buy minion hero power on 2, buy minion hero power on 3, buy minion level hero power on 4. And now these 4 minions, you're gonna level to Tavern 3 hero power, level to Tavern 4 hero power, and now you stop. On 4, if beasts are available, you look for Hydra, and you just stay naturally to get to 7 minions. I don't know what you're gonna buy. Ideally, buffs like Hunmaster, Jug, Mug, you name it, just buffs. You can buy Selfless. If you have some Divine Shields, like if you manage to replace some of your initial minions with Divine Shields of that specific tribe, you can also buy Bolvar. You should buy Argus. Ideally, you just want to get to 7 minions, be kind of strong, and don't do too many replacements too quickly. Like, if you want to replace one of your initial minions for a Divine Shield version of what the tribe has to offer. Let's say you replace your red whelp with a bronze warden, and then you're offered another replacement like crackling instead of your elemental. You should probably not also take the crackling unless you feel like you have enough health to sustain it, because if you make too many replacements, you're gonna just lose power, and it takes time until the minions scale to a powerful enough level to compete with other people. Once you're strong on 4, I would go to 5, look for Brand, look for Lightfang. Again, ideally you want to taunt the whole board so you can also taunt buff it, which then becomes like a powerful threat. Every time press that hero power, don't forget that. And then just try to hit the triple and discover Amalgadon. If it's cheap enough and or if you're strong enough, go to 6, manually try to get Amalgadon. WagToggle is pretty simple if you know the basics and you know what to do at every point, but it took me a little bit of thinking to be able to figure out what's the best pathing for this hero. But if you follow it, I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic game once in a while. She's not guaranteed to win the game, but she's probably pretty often going to get top 4, just way more than every other hero in the game. I find this meta interesting, and I don't know, for example, what they could change to WagToggle, how they could nerf her so that it's not so oppressive that it can level to 4 with only 4 minions on the board. Kind of like All Deathwing, but All Deathwing was going to 6. That was a little bit way too much and way better than this. I don't know how they can change her and still have her be viable. I don't mind her. It's again one of the most balanced, best heroes that we ever had. And the metagame right now seems pretty balanced. I've won games and I see people winning games with Menagerie, with dragons, with beasts, with elementals. Sure, when elementals win, they win in dominating fashion, but they win not that often. When dragons win, they also win in dominating fashion. When mechs win, it's probably like 2 deflectables that were buffed by Majordomo to like 50-50. Mechs are pretty good. Just stay away from pirates and play demons only with the perfect opener. I saw demons doing well mostly top 4. Mostly with Rough Weaver, not with Soul Juggler, because of the Rough Weaver buff. But again, only with perfect opener you should go for like demons. Murlocs are still okay. I've seen Murlocs do well. But it's mostly just about Menagerie, either with Bran or with Lightfang. I kind of like this metagame. It's offering a lot of ways of playing the game. And that's what I enjoy most about Battlegrounds. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. You probably do, with some of the picks at least. And let me know if I missed any of the heroes. I would definitely have Sir Finley in my top 10 if he wasn't removed from the pool because of the AK Zamzarak bar. So basically, AK Zamzarak, people figured out a way to abuse it before it was released. Blizzard, I think, got aware of that. So they didn't release him with a patch until they probably fixed the way he works. And then people did the bug by playing AK Zamzarak from Finley. So now they had to remove Finley as well. We have to wait, and hopefully we're going to get Mr. AK Zamzarak, who's probably going to be also one of the better heroes. I don't know if it's good enough to be the best, but one of the better heroes for sure. And Finley is definitely top 10. Finley has to always be top 10, just mathematically. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. See you in the next video.